Hello and welcome to the Dragon Den. I'm King of Dragons 5000 and today I have another action figure review. Today I'll be taking a look at the Storm Arena Street Fighter Alpha 3 Ken. The eternal rival returns to the Dragon Den and Ken Masters does look quite impressive. Sporting his iconic Alpha 3 outfit, Ken does look very good here, and I like what Storm Collectibles has done. As you would expect, being a reskin of Ryu, he does share a lot of the same parts. Ken is going to come with 2 different head sculpts, as well as 3 sets of hands and a flaming Shoryuken effect. As we take a closer look at Ken, he is sporting his iconic red gi. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that he is 90% reuse of the Storm Arena's Ryu. The head sculpt on Ken is done exceptionally well and looks like he's jumped right out of the video game. His cocky expression is captured perfectly and the paint job on his face is done exceptionally well. They even gave him his signature big bushy eyebrows. Of course, Ken is going to have long blonde hair, and accurate to the game, it is tied in a really long ponytail. The sculpt work in his hair is done very well, and I really do like the red tie on his hair. You can see some really nice details in the red tie as it is knotted and has some great texturing. As we take a look at Ken's gi, it's the exact same sculpt as Ryu's gi. The main difference is this is going to be cast in red plastic, and it still carries over all that impressive detail. Some really great texturing as well as folds and wrinkles go around the gi, highlighted with an impressive paint job. And just like with Ryu, his gi is going to have torn sleeves. As he shares the same body as Ryu, he's going to have that very muscular physique. The sculpt work is done very well, and the paint job only highlights how much detail is in his muscles. Despite being the same sculpt, his skin tone is going to be slightly more pale than Ryu's. His arms once again carry over all that impressive musculature, highlighted with a really nice paint job. The muscle groups are sculpted very nicely, and we do get some detail going all the way down to his karate gloves. Sporting yellow karate gloves just like with Ryu, we do have a separate piece at the wrist and sculpted parts on his hand. Ken is going to have a black belt which is sculpted very nicely going around his waist. His belt is nicely sculpted as we do get a knot tied in the front. And his gi will drop slightly below his waist and is made out of a softer material, allowing for articulation. His signature red gi continues down to his pants, where once again we get that really nice texture. Along with some really nice texturing, we get folds and wrinkles in his gi, and a nice little detail is that the folds have some subtle shading. And just like with Ryu, the bottom of his gi is going to be torn, exposing his feet. His feet are gonna be bare and have some nicely sculpted details from his toes all the way to his toenails. And it does appear on mine they are missing some shading on his foot, as we do have a little bit of shading on his toes. Overall, it is very clever reuse and a smart move using that Ryu base and making Ken. As he does share the same body, Ken is gonna have all that impressive detail and a really good paint job. And this head sculpt is just too good, as it's very accurate to his in-game model. With the paint and details out of the way, let's compare Ken to our usual suspects. As Ken is part of the Storm Arena's line, he's going to be smaller than domestic toy lines. He is marketed as 1/12 scale and fits in better with those lines as well as other Jada toys and other Storm Arena figures. Ken is going to have a double ball joint in the head and a ball joint in the neck. Ball socketed butterfly joints and ball socketed shoulders. Arms hinge out to the side and do a full 360. A swivel in the bicep and double hinges in the elbow. He will have a ball hinge in the wrist. Ken is going to have a double ball joint in his upper torso, an ab crunch, and a ball joint in his lower torso. Ball hinge hips will kick forward, go back, out to the side, and have a thigh swivel. He will have a double bend in the knee, a swivel in his ankle, a ball joint in the foot, and a toe hinge. Loyal viewers of the channel will know that Ken Masters is my favorite character from Street Fighter, and it was only natural I was going to pick him up. I do like the clever reuse of using that same body for Ryu and Ken, as they are pretty much the same character, just with a different head sculpt. The iconic red gi is done very well and carries over a lot of nice details. I do appreciate the fact that Storm Collectibles was able to include some shading going throughout his gi, making all that detail pop. And the articulation on the Storm Arenas is just phenomenal, as there's a lot to go over, especially with the softer torso allowing for some better range of movement. His head articulation is going to be slightly hindered by the hair, as even though it is soft material, it still gets in the way. However, there's still a lot of articulation in Ken, giving him some great mobility. Originally priced at $25, Ken was a very good deal. However, at the time I'm making this video, he is sold out at all major retail. That means the only way to get hold of Ken at this point is through secondhand market, and I do see a lot of people paying secondhand pricing for this figure. If you're a fan of Ken like I am, or just a fan of the Street Fighter Alpha series, you're definitely going to want to track down Ken and add him to your collection. So with that being said, thank you for watching another video here on the Dragon Den. But before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and check out all my other Street Fighter videos. If you're in a position to help out the Dragon Den, check out my Patreon where I have some exclusive content and early access videos. Check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, videos, recent pickups, latest prints, and as always, ring that bell so you never miss another video. And until next time, my loyal Dragonites coming from the Dragon Den, I'm KingofDragons 5000 reminding you to redesign, rebuild, and reclaim. I'll see you next time.